I started on a journey of going down the path of the alternative, you know, looking for that spiritual connection, and I've tried in all sorts of roads to do this, and I found I kept hitting brick walls all over the place. I wasn't quite connecting with that substance that I was looking for. I realised I needed love, because I had lots of people around me who I thought were friends, but they weren't. I had lots of people around who professed that they loved me, but they didn't, because I didn't feel it in here. And I needed to find that substance. Have you all experienced love in your life? Would you all like to? No? It doesn't mean that it comes in the form of a bloke, or a woman, or anything else. But love is a very valuable substance, because I believe we all come from love, and we all go back to love when we're finished here. But our purpose is to grow in the process of being here, because love makes me happy. Does it make you happy?
Mm.
Make you happy? Make you happy? Makes most of us happy. So I needed that substance too. But most of all, on top of all of that, well,
what type of love are you talking about? Because I think there's at least 4, and if not...
there are. That's why I said it doesn't have to come in the form of a man or a woman, or because it comes in all times, doesn't it? It comes in familial love.
That's right.
It comes in animals. It comes in all sorts of... But most of all, love of myself. You see, I hated myself because I didn't like my name, I didn't like the way I looked, I didn't like how tall I wasn't this, I wasn't good. You know, I didn't like me.
Yeah.
I had to start loving me. That was the love I was in search of to start with. Yeah. But on top of all of that, I wanted abundance. And most of us are looking for abundance, aren't we? In some form. Well, I learned to create abundance because I've been sitting on mountain tops for months going, bring it to me, oh, bring it to me. Oh, positive affirmations, I am wonderful, I am wonderful. I still thought it was a shit, but I sat there saying it, you know. Oh, I'm rich, I'm rich. I was skint, but I kept saying it. Oh, I've got everything in the world. I had nothing, but bring it to me, bring it. Nothing happened. I realised I had to get off my arse and do something about it. And I learned that I had to start taking some physical action in order to create change in my life. I learned that I am the creator of everything that I experience in my life. And if I don't have love, I don't have peace, I don't have freedom, I don't have abundance, well, stop looking at everyone else, because they ain't going to give it to me. I've got to do something about it. And I can't just sit here and whinge. I've actually got to get off my arse and start doing something about it. So I did. And what I started to do was start to look at myself. Why are things like this? Now, most of us in life, if I said to you to give me a list of your good points and your bad points, you could, couldn't you? No? Some of us would know some of them. And what I learned is this also, is that, have you ever tried to paddle a canoe? Anybody? No? Yeah? Have you ever tried to paddle it on one side and go in a straight line? It don't work, does it? It don't work, you just go around in circles. Can a one-legged duck swim in a straight line? You might have to guess at this, because I probably guess you've never studied it. But you can't. Because a duck, when it swims with one paddle, it just keeps going round and round in the same circles. Now we're the same. What actually happens with us is that we are microcosms of the universe, so we are in balance. This world is in balance, you know, we have spring, winter, summer and autumn, and it just keeps going rotating round and round and round. But our lives do exactly the same, based on what we perceive of ourselves and what we truly are. So we have our good points and our bad points. Now, if you imagine a milkmaid that's got this yoke on her shoulders, you with me? Yeah, and she's got a bucket on the end of the yoke. Now, in the bucket she carries milk. Now if there's too much milk in the left bucket, she's going to be pulled over that way, isn't she? So when she tries to walk in a straight line, she's eventually going to go round like that, isn't she? Because she'll get pulled that way. It doesn't matter how big the circle is, she'll be able to go in a straight, she won't go in a straight line. And it's the same if the bucket's filled the opposite way. Now if you imagine this as you in your life, you look at all your good points and all your bad points in the buckets, they have to be in balance. But most of us either think we're crap, and therefore our bucket full of crap is heavier than our bucket full of good points, so we go around in a circle that way. Or our egos are so great, we think we're fantastic, that our bucket of good points is so wonderful that we are outweighed the opposite way. So we still go around in a circle. And what we had to discover is who we really are. Who we are and what we are. When I ask most people that, they go, yeah, I know who I am. But they only know the surface levels of who they really are and what they are. And I had to discover, who am I really? I had to look at myself. You've all seen A Christmas Carol, haven't you? I went through a similar process to that. I had to start looking at myself in all honesty and say, well, who am I really? And I wrote a book about it in the end, this one. I wrote in this book about what I discovered about myself. I discovered that I was a liar, and a thief, and a cheat, and I was manipulative and controlling, and I was dishonest at a level that I couldn't believe. But it was like I was seeing all these points about myself. I thought, oh shit, this is not nice, is it? Because I could spout the good bits, because I've been living in ego most of my life. You know, I was kind and caring and generous and handsome and debonair and just bloody wonderful. But in truth, I found out all aspects of myself. And I started to discover that the more negative things I found out about myself, the happier I became. Because as I discovered them, I realised that it was completely counterbalanced by a positive thing. But I had to understand what they are. I discovered who I was and what I am completely. And I put it all in a book. Now most people, when you say to them, if you discovered all of these negative things about yourself, now go and tell the world out there what you've discovered about yourself, most of us would go, well, I'll leave that one, you just see the nice bits of me, because we don't like to be judged, do we? We don't like to be gossiped about, we don't like people having opinions of us about who we are and what we are, so we just try and paint the facade of us being a lovely person. But it's not true. So I put it in this book for the world to see just what sort of a shit I am. And that hurt. It totally hurt. And then what I had to do was to say, okay, well this isn't working for me, so I'm going to let everything go. Let everything in my life go.